is Warriors Anonymous.
Bada bing, bada boom. We are back. This is Warriors content brought to you by a bunch of nobodies. Warriors Anonymous, and we've got one Queenslander on here tonight. He's fronted up. It's good to see you back, Moneta. After we suspended him from appearing the last couple of weeks due to his controversial views on life. So, bro, welcome back. We've also got Daniel jumping on. Isaac is tending to the little one. So normally at this time of the episode, what we normally do is we start with a hard or not. We're not going to do that tonight, boys. I just want to give a special mention, some footage from our Jersey Fleet Cup, the under-21s over the weekend, because one of our boys here, this guy's got the ball, showed you a bit of him last year, nicknamed him Chuck Norris. His name is Brandon Norris. Apparently his uncle was actually named Chuck. He managed to not only get this try here, which we'll see on the replay, he's playing on the right wing. He managed to do the Francis Melly on the weekend over the West Tigers. He managed to put up 5 tries. So he's won.
Whoa.
Yeah. And as you'll see, we've got the tries and the replays for all of them, so it may take a little while, but he gets the tries in a number of different ways. This is one through the air. He's competing for the ball. Still think he might actually got a little touch on that one and got a bit lucky, but that's all right. Coming up here is the hat-trick try. This is a nice one. Have a look at this. Bang. Grabs it in.
Nice catch.
Yeah. Got the one-handed. Yeah. And then he did the bit of the Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, the old, was it the reverse caterpillar almost at the end there, headstand?
Yes. Athletic ability.
Yeah, that's right. So when we're in the market for wingers and trying to, get cover in that. And this guy is he's definitely putting his name up in lights. That was a beauty. That was for the hat trick. This was only a couple of minutes later where they give it out to him. He's got no room, so he just cuts back in. Boom, boom, boom.
Oh, stepped the whole team.
He stepped about half. He did.
It was
Dush.
There's about 7 of them there. He went past. Coming up just before full time. Coming up to try number 5. Out it comes out here. A little bit of a speculator grubber and just picks it up and bang. There you go. How about
Shelling, please.
Well, he's got a bit of a limp, that
he
one.
does, yeah. I think he was cramping up by that point. So I had to enjoy the hustle of him to get up there and get up, and dive for the corner while he's, cramping as well. So Brandon Norris, one to keep an eye on. I'm going to start up a little campaign to, to get him up into at least New South Wales Cup and beyond for the Warriors. So I'm calling it the Chuck for Cup campaign. So just wanted to start with that little piece of video for you boys to enjoy and just keep a little mental note. Warriors, you got to put them up. Now, lads, there was a pretty successful weekend. Pretty successful. The only real game we did lose out of any grade was unfortunately the NRLW, and that was a bit of a sort of a reversal of last week's scoreline in a sense. We went down 42-16 to the Canberra Raiders in Canberra. And so I've had a little look at a bunch of the footage of that game. And Daniel, you mentioned that they're having a real horror run of injuries at the moment.
Yeah, I understand that they could only field 17 as well. So with Gal Broughton ruled out late. And a few others, obviously some other injuries from a couple of middles as well. So, didn't catch the game, but knowing you're travelling to Canberra low on people, low on stocks, it's always going to be a challenging afternoon.
Indeed. And so they go to 1-1 after having a hot start. Apparently Broughton is out for a few weeks. They just said a while. So TBC on that one, as well as a few of the other, the big names that are waiting on the sidelines for them. So hopefully they can sort of bounce back and start getting healthy again. But it's a pretty bad injury toll considering it's week 2 of the competition. So, boy. Not ideal at all. But Warriors NRL side, 32 points to 6 over the Tigers on Friday night. Moneta, watching the first sort of 10-15 minutes, it looked as though we were about to put 50 plus on them. But what was your thoughts on how we started?
Oh, brilliantly. I thought we were going to put 50 plus on them. But then there were a few basic areas that kind of just crept in, I think. Just like knocking the ball on and stuff. And that kind of stopped the momentum a bit. And you give them a penalty in the end and they kick it down our field, that gives them momentum back. And that kind of stalled our progress. But yeah, I think we could have been a bit more clinical.
Yeah, for sure. One guy who started off like a house on fire. Actually, a few of them. There was.
Oh,
I thought,
yeah, there's a
I
lot.
thought Fisher Harris was wonderful from the start.
Oh,
He and
he was
Aaron Clark are
gorgeous.
just going 1-2, 1-2. But Jacob Laven, the growth in this guy has been actually astonishing, especially in the past sort of 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, he's he's probably out of the young crop, the one that hadn't been spoken about as much in the last sort of 12, 18, 24 months. Deservedly being in that kind of crew, but he's had his opportunity. Really, put himself in the window in the picture of being an 80-minute back rower for us, for the club as well, which is amazing. Shades of Ali Couture, I guess, with his size, his frame, and it's just his physicality. So great in the air, all-round game, and look, had to go 80 as well. So I think there was a period he was blowing a little bit late at the end of the second half, but understandable. I think good back rowers find ways to kind of conserve energy and get out the play a little bit as well. But we need to get into the play too. So yeah, awesome. And just when we need, good, solid edge back rowers.
What happened with Lecker? Like, I didn't see Lecker for the rest of the game. Did you? I never found out.
Well, there was no visible signs of him being injured or anything.
Yeah, no.
So I don't know if it was a minutes sort of thing. I mean, he looked fresh as a daisy out there.
He looked ferocious.
Yeah, he looked very good.
There was one run which kind of early on where he got the ball off the kick-off of the shift, and you just thought last time he was at Campbelltown, he went coast to coast. I think he did just kind of mind his hamstring as well.
Yeah.
Didn't open up, but
he didn't smack him off again.
No, I was thinking, and then I just thought to the back of my mind, no, that's all right. Just kind of, take the meterage as well without extending. But there's no official reports or anything like that. Perhaps it was just the way the game went as well, and you'd rather kind of just get him some minutes in those legs and those beautiful thighs.
He looked really good in those 10 to 15 minutes. Like,
strong,
really good.
Yeah, he was exciting. And in fact, I saw last week there was a Newcastle Knights try for Dylan Lucas, and it was exactly the type of play that we had spoken about earlier in the season that we should be doing for Lecker. Just drop it underneath, a little bit before the line, and just let him, try and do something. And
so what? Not a flat ball on while you're pretty much tackled.
That's right. Yeah, you weren't trying to give him the ball with two guys right at him, like bang.
My pet hate. Fuck, I hate that move. I hate that play. Look, don't get me wrong. You time it right. And look, Jakey Laban had a little flat ball to the line and had a little bust as well. So it can happen, but give him early ball.
He's got a long stride, old Jakey Laban. He's like a horse out there. Moneta, another guy who's actually showed a bit of spark coming back from injury, and that is the young man on the left wing, Lofiana Khan Pereira. And what did you think of him as a fellow speed man of some repute?
Oh, mate. What else can you say? Like, he's like, he scored, he's played 63 games or something, and he scored 64 tries. Like, his hit rate is outstanding. He made a couple of good runs from the back too, just based on his pace and his change of direction. Yeah, it's great having him in there, and it just kind of makes me think about next year when we have Warbrick and DWZ now extended. It's going to be a bit of a headache to see who's going to be the starting two wingers. I don't know. There's some good wingers we're going to have. So yeah.
Can someone convert to centre or something? Well, I don't know, but
there is some mail that they might talk Warbrick into being a centre as well, or at least give him some reps in that area, which wouldn't be a bad thing,
He's got the sort of body type that they tend to like at that centre spot, but a height, but probably a bit more speed than what we're used to as Warriors centre.
Saying that, apart from the failed pass, trying to throw it back inside and tangled up, I thought Pomp showed a bit of toe out wide when he was given that ball. He put the hammer down. He just obviously didn't finish off that play on the inside.
Ali until Luai grabbed his freaking ponytail. Grub.
Yeah.
He was it was great offensively. There's some chat about a few mistakes he made, and the bro Joe Maharaj was not happy with Ali. But yeah, I thought that little show and go and down the sideline, that was good to see, because they both Ali Pomps had been criticised for, I guess, showing a little bit of pace.
That's right. It was one of those ones where it was always going to be such a focal point of the game for Warriors fans, because coming into it, everyone had just been absolutely, spitting tacks at both of them, really. So everything that they were going to do was going to be under a real sort of microscope. So thought probably overall maybe a bit of a mixed bag. They showed some good things, yes, but a couple of clunky errors here and there, which didn't really help things. But we do mention on this podcast a little bit the conspiracy theory of sleeper cells that we put out with former players heading off to other clubs. And dead set, it looked like Bunty R4 was our sleeper cell on Friday night, because he was helping us big time.
Oh my gosh. So out of character. Like, I mean, off the back fence running and charging hard, but I've never seen Bunty.
I've never seen him do that too.
Yeah, no active. I haven't seen any active foul plays before,
No.
So a little bit out of character. And I guess always a little bit hyped up. You're playing your old team, right? And, you kind of, unfortunately you were discarded by them for the young crop coming through. So, yeah, you've got a point to prove. So, what they say, overplayed your hand a little bit.
Yeah. Bit of whiplash to CNK. Yeah.
That's right. Moneta, do you think maybe obviously we had a lot of errors which brought the score count down a bit, and it's sort of with the real importance of points differential in this current league and this season, I guess it was a bit disappointing. But do you think it maybe was just a bit of rust, perhaps, or maybe we got a bit excited and thought we were going to be able to just sort of play a bit of carnival?
We did play a bit later during the night, so it was a bit dewy. So I kind of give him that. It wasn't like, dry in terms of being able to get the football in hand. Still, I don't think it was. I don't think there was any really excuses, if I'm being honest. I think and Webster kind of pointed at too. There's some lapses in play that we should have really maintained focus. Against the bigger sides, those can prove costly, as they did against the Sharks a couple of weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
We miss those kind of, small opportunities. They can come back to bite you against the really good teams. Luckily, we're playing against the Tigers. They're going downhill ever since Luai announced his PNG departure. And he's also been been moved on for next year. So, yeah, I think it's just maybe a bit of complacency kind of crept into the play. But, yeah.
Oh, there was some chat, though, that Webby had asked them to have a crack as well.
Okay, all right.
Actually, so Webby said it made reference to they didn't take opportunities against the Dolphins, so didn't fire enough shots.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about the Dolphins game, and I can't remember
the Dolphins.
them not. I thought they took most of the opportunities. It was a tough game. It was a great game. Ding dong battle. We were down on troops, so I think I get a sense Webby was like, have a crack, just see what's on. And I guess knowing that we have a game style that can, ground and pound, and do really well. But I think he's also got an eye to like, we're going to win this comp as well. We're going to have to be able to do, some freaky stuff, And I think you go back to the Broncos game when we're just in control, right? And so I think he was just testing them a little bit. Again, you're going to get, when you get a chance to throw the ball a little bit as well, you're going to make the mistakes. And I think the pleasing part, right, was we had 12 line breaks as well. Like when you have 12 line breaks, you should be scoring 60 points. So,
yeah, you make a good point, because we did do some like passes from the back, in our 20 out wide that created a couple of runs down the sideline. So good point.
I think about a couple of games as well, just back through the season. Even the Dolphins game, I felt like we were starting to do a little bit of expansive play as well. We'd actually do early shifts. I remember the second tackle of the game, we shifted it. It was like, well, what's going on here? And thinking back to say the Melbourne game where we were getting a lot too wide of the ruck to start off, which just kind of threw them off a little bit. So I'm interested in and how the tactics roll out.
With that as well, I think the other part too is that and I keep saying this when I was watching the game, it's like, we made mistakes and I'm like, fuck, it's all good. We back our D. The boys love to defend. They love to defend. And apart from, a stupid little kind of, oh, mine, yours, grubber kick that went over and conceded that try, we had them sorted right. They didn't really pose a threat. So that's actually gives you confidence to, come out the back and throw a couple of passes. If you do drop the ball on your 20, fuck it, we'll just back our D. So, I quite like the confidence to do that. Yeah, like, you're not going to get it every week, but far, man. Like, if we can mix that power game with the smarts of spinning it, then it's going to be amazing.
Absolutely. Monita, what are you seeing in the overall influence in the game, on attack, defense, and just, general hustle around the field? The influence of Tim Ide and Martin. How do you see Tim Murray going?
No, I think he's kind of. I think it kind of goes back to the point that Buddha and I think yourself have alluded to in opening up the game. I think ever since he's been in there, he's been able to play a bit more attacking football, or what is it called? Heads up. You guys have no playing in the hubs. Heads up football, and so he's being able to do that, like, points of play where you don't think there's an opportunity, he's being able to create an opportunity and so forth. But talking of influence, I think having James Fisher-Harris, I think he showed a lot of influence up front. If we're talking about forwards, with the backs, I think TMM has definitely made a difference. Yeah, he's got to maintain being number 7 going forward for the rest of the season, and it shows because he's been extended for another year. Yay!
Now, one subject I'm always really big on, and I think the influence of this part of the game is massive nowadays, and that is kicking. And there's a couple of things that I just wanted to have a look at, especially because the Tigers got us on a kickoff. Or it was, they didn't go. It wasn't a short kickoff, but it wasn't a long kickoff either. It was like a mid. It was a mid kickoff, and I was like, "That's interesting."
Midi.
Like they just dropped it in the middle there and scrambled up and got it. I thought there's some merit to that. And it also, like, if it doesn't work out, then you're still at least sort of 20 odd meters upfield, 20-30 meters up. But Daniel, we mentioned a couple of weeks back about the Nathan Cleary, the unstoppable short dropout, where basically you string it along the ground and you bounce it in a way that it just cuts over that 10-meter line as it goes into touch. And Chanel Harris-Tavita did it. He just,
oh yes,
yeah, unstoppable. And like, I was just there going,
that was good.
Yes, applauding. That was just, sheer brilliance. So gave me a real thrill. It was probably not quite up there with the a double round as such, but I
didn't quite have the ferocity of what Cleary threw through, and I think everyone was holding their breath. The punters I was watching it with, the father-in-law was had apologised to Casey Badger for all the shit he'd given her over the years to kind of to say thanks for that one. And I think, as you saw, it was it could have gone either way, but I don't think it was the intended option, put it that way. But we'll take it.
Look, you just mentioned the word apology as well. We'll just take a moment to just stop down for a second and put our hands up and say, look, we are sorry. A big sorry to Laurie Daly for for our absolute lack of belief in what he was doing. As Daniel mentioned on the group chat, he said "soz loz," and after game 3 of Origin,
he's coming after you guys.
That's right.
He's coming after you guys.
He'll be after vengeance. So
show some balls.
That's it. He got into the press conference and said, "Show some balls." So we couldn't quite make it to the press conference. So we wanted to front foot it and just say, "My bad, sorry."
You know how much I was like even down on it. I didn't even do my picks for and I fucking had Queensland. I was like gutted, because it just auto picked.
I had Queensland too, naturally.
So yes,
he's after pray for NAFTA apparently.
He's taking names, taking everyone. Fair enough.
He's taking names, eh?
Yeah.
He's the hit man at the moment.
Can I mention something that was really important in the game, and I want to applaud Webby and the team for that, is the interchange this week. It wasn't the classic interchange. It wasn't the classic 2-minute guys start and then their stint and they'll wait till after half time and they'll come back later in the game. Webby actually saw, and maybe Fish saw they lost momentum after he went off. So they gave him about a 10-minute spell, and they got him back out there, and they got Aaron out there, and they actually played, I think, they probably played the same minutes. Actually, I think the game was in the bag, so you could have just you gave Fish the last sort of 10 minutes off, right? The young fellas were going well, but I thought that was an astute change, actually rest the momentum back, because the way Fish was going, he fucking mad possessed, obviously scored that try, amazing. What I loved is he got on the ground and he absolutely probably lucky.
Gave it to Loa.
Fuck, he gave Loa that, but there was a play where he got tackled in his half, kind of a barnstorming run, tried to get the quick play the ball as well, and just fucking thrashing around. Bole or someone.
Have you not seen his arms?
Got someone in the head and then got up and played the ball. And it's just play on. It's like, fuck it. Just beast.
His
arms,
He's the master of the dark arts. He's all about them. He's like he's our Snape. He's the dark arts master. Now, one thing that we have mentioned as well, Monita, recently is the disappointment we've sort of had in support play from the boys across the board. But it seemed like there was actually quite an improvement in that against the Tigers. It may speak to the more expansive thinking and tactics.
Yeah.
But what did you see on that?
Well, I think about Laban, right? Was it past couple of games, Laban would be through the gap and where's the support? But this time we had a Healy there, right? And because he's been making a lot of breaks through the gap, Laban, and then Bevan obviously following that, and Healy scored that try. So it's definitely improved, And like you said, they're being a bit more expansive in terms of providing the offload and shifting it early in the tackle count. So yeah, no, I think the support play is improving. So maybe that's why they kind of dropped the ball a bit more, because they're playing a bit more expansive than the usual structured. So yeah, I kind of maybe do take back a little bit what I said, but I still think there's room to improve. We've got to stick those kind of catches once we play the big guns, So, but yeah, it's good to see we can play another style of footy or turn it up a notch. So yeah, a support play was no.
Did you notice? Did you notice when Tim Murray put up, I think, one of his best bombs? It was awesome, right up there. There was a bit of a tussle, maybe. Jareen Buller sort of shoved it forward. There's a bounce on the ground. Shetty gets it, flicks it out the back, and then time stops. Time froze. And then Wayne. Just the prestige. This is what we fell in love with. He just everyone was stuck in mud, and he was.
Oh yeah. He was
20% faster than them. Just picked it up and it came from nowhere.
How many times have they checked that pass? Come on, seriously. How long did they take?
Well, I thought what they were checking was Yeremia Toyava, because he was kind of tangled up in the challenge for the ball. I think they were just checking that the ball didn't just graze his fingers on the way down.
Okay.
So that was why that's why I thought they had doubt on it. I was like, okay, I understand.
Okay.
I understand why.
I felt like one of those. I felt like one of those classic skits, right? When a warrior scores a try, take it back 5 years and see what his cultural history is.
I saw a meme today saying there's no bunker this weekend because they're still checking that try from this week. But I think it came off the back of and look, Bostock didn't touch the ball. This is going back to Origin.
Yes, that's where I heard. That's why it took so long.
They backtracked on it. And the NRL said that he had touched it and they got it wrong. So
yeah, apparently yes, Bostock did touch the ball, and that's what I heard. That created that longevity in terms of looking at the replays, because I think the guy got a bit of a ripping in terms of there
was a little bit of a backstory to that as well, because it wasn't the usual bunker setup. They had to improvise on the fly and do the bunker from a production truck out the back of the stadium. Ordinarily, it's done, and that's all right. He's having a look on the old Nokia.
Zoom in,
trying to see
the
what
pixel looks like it's touching it.
Yeah. That was due to a major internet outage that had happened earlier in the day, so that kind of set it back. However, it was probably, well, from the NRL's perspective, they said that they got it wrong. So one thing that was great was seeing
that doesn't matter, we still lost.
Well, that's right, and also the cream on top was seeing the great referee himself, Cam Smith, having an absolute meltdown.
Absolutely.
Damn it.
about being wrong. Oh, that's a shame, Cam. But yeah, really, really enjoyed that. Obviously, a week on from the game Warriors game on the weekend, we're going to be in line to have a couple of guys back. You think Mitch Barnett and Kurt Capewell are going to slot in there somewhere? They're pretty handy players.
Somewhere.
Despite old Capes having a bit of a mare on in game 3. But are we thinking 100% locked in to have Capewell on one side and Laban on the other side and Lackow from the bench, Moneta?
Yeah, I think so. You'd have to have that. You'd have to make place for Barnett too. Yeah, but I'm just trying to think who would be our front row.
Well, he'll slot into the front row, and then Stella Smith would go to the bench, you'd think.
Tan and Dimitri, yeah.
Dimitrik, you'd have Dimitrik, Healy, Lecker on the bench, eh?
Yep.
And you'd have Laban and Capewell.
Yep.
Capewell.
Yep.
Okay, all right, cool. So still space. Okay,
works.
that's good. That's good. Yeah, that works.
And the game picks we have got, we've got all 4 of us picking Warriors win against the Dragons. One thing I noticed is interesting about this clash on Saturday, Go Media Stadium, 7:35 p.m. New Zealand time kickoff. And I believe that's about half an hour later than another game that's being played in Auckland. The All Blacks, something, taking on Ireland. So, yeah, Daniel, what do you think of that scheduling little, what's going on with that?
New Zealand Rugby trying to flex. They're trying to flex, but the Warriors are like, we're sold out. We're fine. And we'll get viewers everywhere as well. So, look, both codes coexist at the top level. And I say the top level, NRL and international as well. But yeah, I mean, most punters I know will start with the rugby, watch the Warriors, go back to the rugby. You know?
Or as was the case watching the rugby on Saturday night, watching the rugby, getting annoyed with the refereeing and switching it over to watch something else and then maybe come back later. But yeah, interesting game.
That's what I did too. I was like, God, another one.
That's exactly right. Yeah, another sort of interesting game for us, Daniel. We've got heavy expectations on us to get the win. Excuse me, sorry, microphone. Yeah, a heavy expectation to get the win against the Dragons, the last place team in the league, which is always a little bit of a worry for Warriors sides. But yeah, what are you thinking for this game against the Dragons, bro?
Ultimately, we're going with confidence. We go and knowing that our best footy will beat their best footy, or country mile. But give them the credit, they are building. You know, they've decided to back youth. They've got some pretty awesome young middles and edges as well. A bit light, kind of out wide, but they're in rebuild and they're focusing on that. And the results in the last, 4 or 5 weeks haven't been too bad, right? So, I think it's always hard, because you look at a team with a position now and you actually see how you play against them and the difference as well. So I think just like every game, we can't go completely cocky about it. But I think the best thing for us is that outing and trying to be that expansive. I think we will find a balance probably in the middle somewhere. We've got that controlled expansion. I think the issue was you've got to earn the right still. You've got to keep earning the right. And I think that's what happened when we brought Fish back in with Aaron. Together, they lay the platform. We're spoilt right now for those middles as well. So, yeah, just got to be cautious. Just cautious. But, it could easily put 40 points in it.
Yep. It'll be interesting to see what the weather is like and what the dew factor is like on Saturday night.
Yeah, it always plays a factor, eh?
Can we just get some industrial fans out there? Blow that shit away.
Yeah. It makes me think back to one of the league tests we went to up in Palmerston North. Kiwis versus Aussie, and it was some of the worst conditions to watch football in, and it was
bar soap.
It was an absolute horror. I think I'm sure that was the test where they couldn't find a football to finish off, and Graham Hughes is going absolutely bananas. Can't find a football to finish the test.
But I'm actually a bit more nervous about this game than I was the Tigers for some reason, because I feel like the Dragons have more to prove as they build towards next year. And I think they are improving. Well, the Tigers, I just think, are just imploding.
Yeah. Dragons this way, slightly this way, and Tigers going that way. So, but a couple of shout outs to 2 individuals with the worst gyro celebrations. First in my book, well, the second
I know who
worst,
you're talking about.
Second worst is Sione Katoa with bro, you did this. You got to pull this and let that go, not let the bow go.
Yeah, let it go backwards.
My favourite, and he had a great game. And actually, let's talk about his game. He was, subs in late, controlled the middle really well. Running game's amazing. Defensive was great. His distribution was amazing as well. And that's the thing I'm kind of wanting him to see. I want him to see his distribution. I want it to be up there with Wayne Egan as well.
Let's get there. It reminded me more like
Sam
Michael
Healy.
Jackson.
It was like...
That was like Michael Jackson. He just did that. It was like...
It's a bit...
kind of...
It's more Michael.
Sam Healy. It's a bit of a... it's almost getting a little bit... like the chat about Cam George with the Manawave. The early editions of the Manawave he was putting out. It's like, I mean...
But he improved. He
did. And I don't really know much about bows and arrows, so I guess if you pull it back, you obviously release the string.
Just the way he leaped up with his 2 feet still in the air and looked like Michael Jackson.
But he goes like this, and then he throws it.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Really?
Because if you release your backhand, your releasing hand should just stay still,
usually
right?
goes like that.
And then, if anything, your front hand would go forward. You'd be like,
I don't know. But it was just, I
mean, the best I've ever seen is Israel Adesanya, right? And when he got, who's the guy who beat him a couple times? Pereira, and he gets him, he pulls it out of the quiver.
Nice.
Bang.
Oh, wow. The full Legolas. That was...
But maybe he's just showing his, character. He just wants to put a bit of zhuzh in it.
Is it?
Yeah. You need to get Sammy a hat to put on when he scores a try.
Yeah. You know that happened in the Premier League this year, eh?
He starts moonwalking back out of the in-goal,
did you see that happened in the Premier League? A guy had a white glove. A Newcastle striker. He did it against a team that were getting relegated.
Oh, this is outstanding.
Love you, Sam Healy.
We do.
Sammy.
God. Yeah. Now I got him picturing the fucking Michael Jackson. He scores a try.
Yeah. Well, we had pinned Wade as the smooth criminal earlier a few weeks back, so maybe Sammy's the thriller. Sammy's thriller, and Wade's the smooth criminal. I don't know. There's something in it though, and I like it. Boys, thanks for jumping on, and thanks everyone for indulging us for this little episode. We got a little bit carried away. It's always fun when that happens, but we'll see what happens next week as we track the Warriors' big game against the Dragons. Hopefully the NRLW team bounces back as well, and whatever else happens, we will have a look at that also. So until then, thanks for watching. Don't forget to follow us, and the wires. Go the Warriors!
La cucaracha ya no puede caminar.